Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Mason African Motives are still working on mathematics N2. So in this platform actually we shall be focusing on the addition and subtraction of fractions actually, which is a part that is very important in our fractions, especially factorization. So actually these are the concepts that we are going to work with, actually, that you need to know whenever you're factorizing. Okay, you need to factorize all the denominators, determine the lowest common denominator, which is the LCM of all the denominators that are given, determine the equivalent numerators. Do not cancel anything, which is very important for you guys. Do not cancel anything when you are working with fractions. Okay, then simplify the numerator if possible. Take note about the last point. If possible, factorize the numerator and simplify further. That is on a condition where it is possible for you to do the factorization. You can do that. Okay, so these are the steps that you're going to focus on in this class. So if you're new, you can consider subscribing, guys, so that you won't miss any of the classes that we shall be having from Mason African Motives. So I'm just going to explain a few examples and questions in this case that are on this type of a question. I'm going to start with this question here. It's 3x over x plus 1 plus. So the question will ask you to simplify. Okay. I want us to work with a basic question so that we understand actually what is happening here. All right, we are given these two fractions and we are asked to simplify. All right, so what we are going to do is, since we are adding here, this time you are not multiplying or dividing, you are adding. So you find the LCD, which is the LCM of the denominators here. So you have got x plus 1, you have got x minus 1 here. So you just take these as they are. So you do not repeat the values. Okay, so this is x plus 1, you take it as it is, and x minus 1, this is going to be your LCD or the LCM. All right, so how do I go about it now in adding these two? This is what you're going to do. You divide, take note, you divide the LCD by the denominator of the first fraction. Okay, the LCD by this denominator. So it's like this. The LCD is x plus 1 into x minus 1. You divide by the denominator, which is x plus 1, like this. So if you divide, as you can see, these two cancel, guys. You're going to be left with x minus 1. So you always note that when you've got x plus 1, you're going to remain with this part, which is x minus 1. This part that you remain with, you multiply it to the numerator. Take note, guys, the part that you remain it, you multiply it back to the numerator like this. So it's going to be 3x times the part that you are remaining with, which is x minus 1, or this part here. Okay, plus we do the same again. Now we are at this stage, so it's this LCD divide this by this x minus 1. So as you can see, x minus 1 will cancel. You're going to be left with x plus 1, which will be multiplied back again to the LCD, to the numerator here. So it's 5 times this part, which is x plus 1. So as you can see, this part and this part are the same, so they cancel each other. You remain with this. So it's like this, guys, x plus 1, x minus 1 into x. So you imagine cancelling, but you don't do the cancelling here to cancel this to remove. No, you just imagine cancelling, but you maintain this LCD as it is. So always maintain the LCD, okay, which is the LCM. So that is what we have, guys. Nothing here. Never be tempted to cancel these two or these two. They do not cancel because we are adding here, so we cannot do that. So we can only expand the brackets. 3x times x, which is 3x squared, 3x times minus 1, which is minus 3x. Okay, we move on to this plus 5. Take note, the sign is plus, so it's 5 times x, which is plus 5x, plus 5 times plus 1, which is plus 5. Everything over, you take the LCD again as it is. Don't forget to write your LCD and don't expand the LCD. Just leave it as it is, okay? Don't expand the LCD. Okay, we have got like terms here. In this middle term here, we've got like terms. This is x, this is x. So it's minus 3 plus 5, which is 2, but there is x, so it's going to be 2x. So this is what you're going to remain with. 3x squared plus 2x plus 5, everything over, don't forget your LCD, x, and don't expand the LCD like that. All right, so now at this stage, this is the last stage that we are having. So at that stage, that is where we are saying you have to test if it is possible for you to factorize. Okay, so we are going to test if it is possible for us to factorize. So we've got 3 and 5. Remember, you multiply the first term and the last term, which is 15x squared. Do we have factors of 15, two numbers that we are going to multiply to obtain positive 15? Take note. And when you add the numbers, they are going to give you a positive 2. So as you can see, that is actually impossible. They do not exist. So there are no two numbers that you can multiply to get positive 15, guys, and add them to get a positive 2. So that means your answer is going to be left on this stage. That will be its simplest form. All right, so there are actually many questions that we have. Let me just show you where maybe we can require to factorize. Okay, like these questions that we are having here, we're asked to simplify there. So these are the typical questions. Actually, that's how they ask these questions. That's it on addition and subtraction. So let's just do this part maybe, which requires us to factorize on question number 5. Yeah, let's just start number 5. Yeah, you just try, guys, as many questions. Okay, you just try as many questions as possible. I cannot do these questions, all of them. No, you just try as many questions so that it can help us also to know which part is still challenging. All right, so that's what we're having there, guys. So the first thing is actually to factorize, and this part is easier. Why? Because the coefficients here is 1 1 1. The coefficient of x squared is 1. So remember, when the coefficient of x squared is 1 like this, we are going to focus with the constant term, which is minus 4. So you've got 2 brackets here. You just put your x and your x. Remember, guys, so if this part is still having a challenge on factorization, please make sure that you watch the classes that we started with on factorization. Okay, so what are these factors that you're talking about? Factors of minus 4, that's 4 and minus 1. If I'm not mistaken, 4 times minus 1, that's minus 4. 4 plus minus 1, that's 3. So you've got plus 4 and minus 1. All right, you just take those numbers as they are. Okay, we move on to this part again. 2 brackets here, you put x here. So still coefficient of x squared is 1, so you're going to focus with minus 3. So what are the factors of minus 3 that you're going to add to get 2? The middle term there, which is 2. So it's 3 and minus 1. 3 by minus 1, that's minus 3. 3 plus minus 1, that's 2. So you've got plus 3 and minus 1. That's what we're having, guys. 3 and minus 1. Okay, plus we do the same here. The coefficient of x squared, as you can see, the coefficient of x squared here is the 1. So you're going to focus with minus 8. So you just put your x here, your x here. All right, so what are the factors of minus 8 that you're going to add to get 2? Factors of 8 that you're going to add to get 2. Minus 8, actually, factors of minus 8. So it's 4 and minus 2. If I'm not mistaken, 4 times minus 2, that's minus 8. 4 plus minus 2, that's 2. So these are the factors. So we've got plus 4 here, minus 2 here. All right, we do the same on this one. The coefficient of x squared is 1. Factors of 6 that we are going to add to get 5. Which factors are we talking about here? Minus 5, actually. So that's minus 3 and minus 2. Minus 3 times minus 2, that's positive 6. Minus 3 plus minus 2, that's minus 5. So we've got minus 3, minus 2. All right, Yes, we are not allowed to cancel. When we are not allowed to cancel, it's on a condition where a condition like this, this is the condition that you are not allowed to cancel because these two fractions are separated by a certain sign, maybe a plus or a minus. But here, these are not separated. This is one fraction, so this can cancel. This is one fraction, so when possible, you can cancel. So this can cancel to this. This can cancel to this because they are the same. So that means you're going to be left with x plus 4 over x plus 3 plus x plus 4 there over x minus 3. That is what you're going to be left with. And don't be tempted to cancel these two. We do not have that power now. So you're just going to remain with this. So you have to find our LCD in this case. So what is going to be our LCD? Take these two brackets as they are, x plus 3, x minus 3, like this. All right. So at the end, what are we going to have? That's the question now. What are we going to have at the end? Remember what we did from the previous. We divided LCD divided by 3. So this x plus 3 and x plus 3 will cancel. You're going to be left with x minus 3, which is going to multiply x plus 4 on top there. So it's x plus 4 into x minus 3, like this. Plus, you do the same here. This part here of x, this LCD divided by x minus 3. So x minus 3 and x minus. So you just imagine cancelling, but don't cancel to say this and just imagine cancelling. So this and this will cancel, which means you're going to be left with x plus 3. So it is going to be x plus 4 times x plus 3, like this. So that is the case. Don't cancel anything at this stage now because we are separated here by a plus. But here we could cancel because of it is just a single fraction. But this one is now separated. So what are we going to have at the end? I want you to see something that is common here. If you cross-check properly here, you'll see that this bracket here is common here on these two. So actually, instead of you expanding, you can actually factor out this bracket here because it's common on these two. So if I factor out this bracket of x plus 4, I'm going to be left with something like this. I factor this bracket out of x plus 4. So I'm going to be left with, take note, I have taken out this bracket, so I'm going to remain with x minus 3. So I'm going to remain with x minus 3 plus, because there's a sign which is in between, plus, here I've taken out this bracket, I'm going to be left with x plus 3. So I'm going to be left with x plus 3 in this part, like this. All right, this is now in one bracket because you are adding the two. Everything over this part that we had of x plus 3, it was x plus 3, x minus 3, yeah, like this. So this is what you're going to have at the end. All right, so you have actually done the part. So minus 3 plus 3, that's S0 there. You can collect like terms. So you're left with x plus x. This is same as 1x plus 1x. 1 plus 1, which is 2x. Okay, so this is going to give us 2x into x plus 4, or you can start with x plus 4 still, but just guys, it's so weird to write it like this. It's best for you to write this or starting with 2x, which is a single term. Okay, everything over x plus 3 into x minus 3, like this. So as you can see, that is what you're going to obtain there. So addition and subtraction, guys, it's a play around. Here we can't cancel because there's nothing that is common, so you just leave your answer like that. So addition, subtraction is something that is clear by knowing that factorization first, then you can apply anything according to the way that you are given. So mostly these are the typical questions. These ones we cannot say this is a question under addition and subtraction. This one is just under normal simplification, this type of a question. We can't say this question is under addition and subtraction, guys. Why? Because on this type of a question, I'm not adding anything or subtracting. I'm just going to factorize this and also factorize this. Then I can cancel because you are not adding any, because it just simplify like that. So okay, let's just do it because someone might need this question. So as we can see, we just need to factorize the coefficient of x squared. There is 1, so you need to focus with 9. So you're going to have two brackets there, x and x. So which factors of 9 that we add to get positive 6? So that's plus 3 and plus 3. All right. X squared minus 9, this is difference of two squares because it can be written as x squared minus square root of 9. You know that square root of 9 is 3. So this is 3 squared like this. So the moment you can write this, you're going to take this x and 3. So it's going to be x plus 3. Remember that one bracket adds, another bracket subtracts like this. So definitely you can cancel this, and this can cancel because there is no addition there. It's just normal, just like the previous part that we did here. We cancelled here because it was just a single fraction. So that is the concept that they want you to learn when they are giving you a question like this. So this can cancel because you are not adding, but the moment it is separated, like it's x plus 3 plus another maybe x minus, you cannot cancel because now it's separated. Okay, so which means you're going to be left with x plus 3 over x minus 3 like this. And don't be tempted to cancel this x and 3 and 3. These cannot cancel at this stage. That is your final answer because also you are separating. You can only cancel if it was 3x over 3x. We do not have a sign in between, so this can cancel, but the moment it adds like this, it cannot. Okay, so that is the concept there on fractions that you are supposed to know. So we are going to meet again in another class now, working on question papers. I think that's the best thing that we can do for now because the basics, now we have the basics. So we are going to work on question papers now to cover up this chapter as a whole. I think that's gonna be fine. All right, we have got this question, guys, that we are having. Let's just finish up with this question. So we have to factorize here. This is a difference of two squares if you are to cross-check properly, because remember 1 is same as 1 squared. So this is x squared minus 1 squared. 1 times 1, that's 1. So square root of 1 is 1. So that's the concept there. So on the numerator, there's nothing that you can do. You can't factorize here. There's nothing that is common, but this one can be factorized, which is going to give us x plus 1 into x minus 1. Remember, we take this x and this 1. All right. Oh, I've already indicated this note. Do you see that, guys? It's supposed to be separated there. I hope someone saw that. It's supposed to be separated like this, x plus 1, x minus 1 like this. Then we separate the plus. So it can be addition and subtraction. Someone might wonder, why are we only adding? It can be on subtraction also. So it's 7 over x plus 1 like this. All right, that is what we are having. Actually, on this type of equation, most of you make a mistake on taking these two brackets twice. Like you take x plus 1, you take it again. No, this bracket is here, it's also here. It's common on these two, so you just write it once like this, and you take x minus 1. That's your LCM or your LCD. You do not repeat that when it is common like that. Okay, then basically we have to expand, divide this LCD, divide by this denominator. So as you can see, these are actually the same. X plus 1 will cancel, x minus 1 will cancel. So this is going to give us a 1 because this is the same. So you're going to be left with 1 times 5x plus 2, of which 1 times any number, guys. There's no need of us writing this one. Okay, we do the same. This LCD, divide by x plus 1. So as you can see, x plus 1 and x plus 1 will cancel. You're going to be left with x minus 1, but you don't cancel, you just imagine cancelling. Okay, then 1 times 5x, which is going to give us 5x. 1 times 2 which is 2 there. So this one is just 1 times n number, guys. It repeats it, just the same as it was. Okay, expand brackets here. That's 7 times x, that's 7x. 7 times minus 1, which is minus 7. Everything over, that's gonna be x plus 1 into x minus 1, like this. Okay, so you can collect like terms. We've got 5x and 7x. This is x, this is x. So 5 plus 7, that is 12. 5 plus 7, which is 12x there. All right, 2 minus 7, which is going to give us a minus 5 from our calculus, minus 5 there, into over x plus 1 into x minus. Don't expand these brackets in the denominator like that. Okay, so this is what you're going to have at the end. So as you can see, guys, there are so many questions actually that we can work on and revise on, and still the case remains the same there. That is what we're having. So what I actually want to challenge you is to work on more questions, so that you can actually understand this concept. So it can be addition, it can be subtraction. The concept still remains the same. There's nothing that is much important there. So what you're going to do, like I said, guys, is to work on questions and revisions from past exam papers now, so that we can actually cover everything and understand how they ask these questions from African motives. Till we meet again.